It's the weekend, baby. And these are the adventures of a temporarily out of work wife and mother. And let me tell you, this took 3 days. And y'all already know I put my sunshine to work. This was an upstairs and downstairs effort. And we started with getting those dogs fed, taken out, and then we had to tackle this. I know what you're thinking. Why is her sink always full of dishes and she home all day? Well, let me tell you, sometimes I don't feel like being bothered with the damn things. I decided to try some new angles with my camera setup and get everything pop locking and dropping. So here we go. I got a candle lit, I got some music going, and I had to get that fan out of the way. If y'all remember, I bought my sunshine a fan for his room because it's always incredibly hot upstairs, even with the AC on. But honey, last weekend, the AC went out. It does this like once a year. And we had to have the HVAC system serviced. While we waited for that lady's son that I married's friend to come and service it, we grabbed some more of those fans from the Target. And they came in clutch. I started with my second favorite room in the house, this living room, where I spend most of my time, on that couch right there. Playing in World Domination, making videos, editing them. That's where I am right now. Now, this was a deep cleaning, so I had to bust out that duster and the Windex, the wood cleaner, the whole 9 yards. I am going to do a day 1, 2, and 3 video of weekend reset number 12 because there's no way that I can expect for you to watch all of that in one video. I'm also going to do a whole lot of speeding up, and I am not going to describe what I'm doing. There might be some tidbits that I need to provide some more details about, but instead I'm going to use this as an opportunity to tell you all about what's been going on in my life. Child, let me tell you. So first of all, I had a hearing for that little situation with my previous employer, and baby, if them people not making the case for me, I don't know what they doing. The thing about listing subjective reasons for terminating someone's employment after 20 years is that even if it's subjective, you have to be able to provide an objective explanation for your subjective decision making. That means that you need to be able to describe objectively in a way that most people would agree with, while your subjective observation, assumption, belief is valid, even when you live in an at-will state. At-will does not mean for any reason that you can possibly think of. An employer must have a legally defensible reason for terminating your employment. That includes being able to objectively describe their reasoning. Words mean what they mean, so you can't define a word using the word. I think we all learned that around the 3rd grade. Now, I'm not in a position to go into too much detail, but let's just say it was a lot of hums, uhs, and uhs. And the entire hearing was spent with my previous employer unable to answer the questions being posed by the appellate judge. I mean, an attempt was made, but with months to prepare, you would think they would have done better than that. Now, I took those old blinds down, and they'd been up for about 10 years, and I was the one who installed them the last time, so obviously I don't remember how that all went, and so here I am trying to figure out how to do it again. I had my sunshine go outside and clean the windows on the outside, because if I'm going to hang new blinds, it needs to be clean. No sense in having bugs stuck all over the outside of the window, or dust all over the inside of it. So I got him to help me with measuring since he's clearly taller than I am. And then I got to installing. Now, let me go ahead and tell you, this was a comedy of errors. Once I got the first one up, I had it down packed. I got the second one up, and then I did the one upstairs that I told you I was replacing that paper blind. I got the same blinds that I had last time, just in the gray color, because my plan is to continue my home improvement project downstairs, sticking with my color scheme of black, gray, silver, white, and a touch of blue. I'm going to paint this wall a pretty silvery shade of white. So the blinds in the dining room and the one in the kitchen are all gray now. Like I said, I had to make some adjustments on that first one. I even put the blind up backwards. Thankfully, these are really easy to install blinds. I'm just a perfectionist to some degree. I'm a Virgo. So I needed them even, I needed them balanced, and obviously I needed them sturdy. I'm sure this would have been easier with my step ladder instead of this step stool, but I was committed. I stuck it through. Why I thought it was a good idea to hang blinds in the middle of my weekend reset, your guess is as good as mine. But with all things, I always give myself a pretty lengthy to-do list, and then I extend the completion of that to-do list for as long as humanly possible. And then I got my sunshine on his usual chores, the dining room table, the powder room, vacuuming, recycling, and trash. And then this happened.
I don't want to do it anymore.
What?
Yo, there's just like a humongous spider on the recycling bin. Feels like it's falling from nowhere.
Did you empty the recycling?
No, I didn't have time.
What you mean you didn't have time?
I saw it falling and I didn't want to get close to it. It has a big bottom, so I think it's pregnant. That's even worse.
Where? You didn't pick the papers up from earlier or nothing?
You're right.
Oh. This boy is entirely too big to be scared of things that he is 57,492 times bigger than. When he was a kid, I was very intentional about having him kill bugs because I didn't want him to be afraid of them. My oldest daughter is petrified of bugs. She be out there fighting for her life when she sees a bug. She's even called us on the phone to come to her apartment to kill a bug before. Needless to say, I got 2 of them. Golly. So with a full day of cleaning in the books, it is now time to clean this kitchen, starting with these dishes. Y'all already know how I do. I be sorting these dishes, honey. I have a whole little rhythm because OCD is a real thing, honey. And as promised, I'm speeding through it and not giving you the blow by blow. One of the things that I've come to realize, though, is I seem to like to do all of this hard work at nighttime. I have no idea why. I think it's because I like rewarding myself with a good soak in the tub, with a glass of wine and a good book. It's almost like I feel like I need an excuse, like a good hot bubble bath is some kind of luxury. And I love that for me, but I hate it at the same time. And here's why. Obviously, cleaning your person is a thing that you need to do every day, preferably twice a day, more if necessary. But if long soaks, air drying, and applying smell goods is your thing, then by all means, do your thing. You shouldn't need an excuse, permission, a justification, or hard work to prove that you deserve self-care. Taking care of you should be a priority because you are a priority. I made the joke about my son and the bug, but I want to be clear. I was intentional about trying to teach my children not to be afraid of things, whether those things could actually hurt them or not, because as a person who suffers from irrational fears, I know all too well how paralyzing that can be. And I desired for them to be better than me. I needed them to trust God and themselves, to believe in their God-given ability to face any challenge, conquer any mountain, overcome any weakness, and slay any dragon, internal or external. I've always been intentional about socializing my children in ways that empower them to be their own source of fulfillment, accomplishment, and success, so that they don't need the applause, the encouragement, or the acknowledgement of anyone else. I've been intentional about teaching them how to encourage themselves, trust themselves, believe in themselves, love themselves. We live in a world that tells women that their value is in what they can do for someone else. Clearly, that's a lesson that I learned, intentionally or otherwise, because I get a large part of my fulfillment from what I do for my family. And by all means, there is nothing wrong with that. But the same way that I've taught my children that taking care of them is paramount, I needed this gentle reminder for myself. Breaking generational curses and bonding demons associated with your bloodline starts with you. It's not enough to tell your children that you love them and thus they should love themselves. You have to show them how to do that. You have to be a demonstration of self-love unapologetically. You have to allow your children to see you loving yourself out loud, not waiting for the perfect time, not waiting for a good reason, not waiting for an accomplishment a special occasion, an influx of financial resources, all of your problems to be solved, or anybody else's permission. They need to see you loving you, even when times are hard, money is tight, your relationships are rocky, life is stressful, and things are not going the way that you planned. They need to see you trusting God and yourself. They need to see you doing the hard things, and they need to know that they were hard. Because pretending like it was easy does them a disservice, and it's a lie.